Hello, welcome and welcome back. Welcome back to LetsPro's Aptitude Management and Aptitude Learning portal. So today we are going to look at something very nice, which is seating arrangements, right? Now under this we also have linear, circular and double row. We will be looking at all of that once we get into all of it. But I am expecting you to have understood what happened in the previous classes, in the previous modules. If you haven't understood, I keep repeating this in every module, but then that is really important. So make sure that you go through all of what has happened there and then come back here so that you have a better understanding and build your basics well. That way it becomes very easy for you and me both, to me teaching you and you learning from here, right? All right, let's quickly get into what's happening in seating arrangements. So what is this seating arrangement, right? So basically these are questions that are arriving from, there are so many chairs, this person is sitting there here, where is the other person sitting, questions like that, right? So first things first, we are talking about what is seating arrangement. This question tests logical thinking and spatial visualization. Visualization is very important when you come to the corporate field, right? So what are the common types? There is a linear, there's circular, and there's a double row. I'll teach you as and when it comes, right? So what are the key skills required here? You need to have the direction sense, positional analysis, elimination and deduction, because there are a lot of things that is given to you in the question. You need to focus on certain things only. So what are those certain things? That is something that is required. That is why they have told you analysis, elimination and deduction from here. The first type is nothing but, it's called as the linear seating, right? So first things first, here people, what is linear? Linear means a straight line, correct? People seated in a straight line. This may face same or opposite. Now if two people are sitting like this is a linear position, right? Like this, if they're sitting, they're facing each other. If they're sitting like this, they're not facing each other, right? Now if I tell you they're sitting like this, what is happening? They're sitting back to back, right? That means they are in a straight line, but they're not facing each other. Okay, now there is a lot of ambiguity when it comes to these type of seating arrangements, but make sure that you can deduce it as much as possible so that there is very less ambiguity created. All right. Okay, so now relative positions left or right of a person, that is always given in the question. What are the tips? Always fix directions first, right? Draw diagrams, use symbols if required. Okay. All right, let's quickly get into our first problem. Let me pick a pen for you first. Okay, 8 people, A to H, sit in a row. Okay, B is to the immediate left of A. C is at one end. Let us fix C at one end, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, right? So 8 people sitting in a row. C is fixed at one end. D is fourth to the left of E, who is sitting in the middle. If you see, first things first, A to H are all to be seated. B is sitting immediately to the right of A. This is really important to understand. Now C is at one end. It can be this end or this end as well, right? D is the fourth to the left of E. Now first we need to understand, where is this B sitting, where is this E sitting, where is this A sitting, and where is this D sitting, right? Now if you see, okay, now what are we supposed to find out? Who is sitting in the middle, right? Now A to H, there are 8 people, so that means we need to find out these two positions. It can be those two positions, or from your options, whatever is given to you, either this or this can be held good, right? Now B is immediate right to A. Now let's fix A's position to be this. Let's fix it that way, right? B is to the immediate right of A, meaning B should be here, right? But is that possible? Because don't you think this is A, to the left is B, right? So that means A should be somewhere here, right? So let's change that position quickly, right? So A is here, let's say B is here, right? Next, C is at one end. We already fixed C. D is to the fourth left of E. Now let's fix E's position. Here E, right? So now fourth position, 1, 2, 3 and 4. That means D is sitting somewhere here. But is that possible? No, right? Because I know left meaning what? It should be this side. That means our E is here. E is here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. D is here. Now who is sitting in the middle? Can I know who is sitting? There is no such condition which is given to us which is going to tell us. So we have A, we have B, we have C, D, E is given to us, right? Then there should be F, G and H. There is no information as such given to us. So it can be either A, either G, it can be H or it can be F, right? So make sure whatever in the option is given to you, mark in that particular, because I told you there can be a lot of ambiguity, but right now we have fixed positions and now we know these three positions are empty and either one can take them because there is no information provided. All right. Mind you, this was a question that was asked in one of the CoCubes tests. So that's just how the tests are going to be, right? All right. Let's get into the next question. 6 people are sitting in a row. P is sitting left of Q. Okay, all right. Let's make 6 positions first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Right? So there are 6 positions. Now, S is at the extreme left. So this is my position. Extreme left, I will position S. Right? I can position here also, or let's just position S here. Let's position S here. Right? Because I'm looking at the book, so left should be at this particular position, right? So let's take S here. What is next? P is sitting left of Q. So as of now, I don't know, but right of R, right? Now, who is at the center? Now, let's quickly do that. Let's say R is sitting here, right? If R sits here, what is happening? P is sitting left of Q but right of R. That means towards the right there is P and there should be a Q here as well. Right? What are the other things that is left? Let's take it alphabetically, T and then U. So who is at the center? It can be either P or Q as well. All right. I hope you've understood this particular question. All right, let's get into the next question. Let's change the color of the pen. It gets boring with just one usage of one single color, right? All right, so 7 people are seated. All right, let's make 7 seats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. All right, A is third from one end. Let's take from the left end, okay? Third meaning it is at this particular position. B sits second to the right of A. That means second to the right of A would ideally be the next position itself, right? C sits at one end. Any one of the end you can put it. I'll put it here, right? Who is in the center? Very simple. It should be B only. Correct? So B is exactly at the center. So I don't have to enter anything else. Alright, this was also one of the previous year questions that I've brought for you. Now let's quickly get into the synopsis of circular seating, right? Circular seating meaning round, they're sitting in a round table conference or whatever that is, right? People seated around a circle. So what is exactly happening here? Now they're all facing the center. That means this is how it looks like. It looks like a flower. Right? So clockwise, left is clockwise, right? If this is what we're trying to say, then that means they're all seated towards the left, right? Right would be anti-clockwise. That means from like this, right? Facing out, left would be anti-clockwise. If they're facing out, there are two things. If they're facing inside, left meaning clockwise, right meaning anti-clockwise. If they're facing out, left meaning anti-clockwise and right meaning clockwise. So remember that part. Now fix one person, use relative directions, build in segments. Those are the only tips. Let's quickly get into the problems. Okay. Now we have 6 friends, A to F, sit in a circle, right? A is to the left of B. Now let's assume that they are sitting clockwise, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. correct? So I hope you can see the circle here. Now A is to the left of B, correct? Let's say they are all facing this particular center. Who is opposite to C? Now let's say this is B, now this is C, because then only then they can be opposite to each other, right? So A is to the left, meaning if they're sitting like this, clockwise is my A, so A's position is fixed here, and D is between C and E, right? So that means C and E, there is one thing called as D, right? Who is to the immediate right of A? Don't you think it's simply B, right? Because we fixed B is on B's left, yeah. See, on B's left there is A, that means towards the right there should be who? Ideally B only, right? As simple as that. Alright, but if the situations were changed, if they're facing outwards, then whoever was on the other side, let's say F, we didn't write F, right? So F would have been on the other side, right? Alright, now let's quickly get into the next problem. Here we have 8 people sitting, right? Let's quickly bring 8 chairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, correct? 8 people are sitting in a circle facing the center. That means they're all facing the center here. A is third to the right of B. Now you just need to apply the cues now. Let's fix positions first. A is the third to the right of B. Now if B is sitting here, correct? So right meaning it would go anti-clockwise. So third is 1, 2 and 3. So A is seated here, right? Next, C is second to the left of A. That means it would go clockwise. So C is here because it's the second, right? Next we have who is opposite to C. Now I don't know, there can be anybody who is seated here, correct? Right? Because if you see, if this is a clock, this and this matches, correct? Alright, sorry. So let's quickly get into this. Erase this part. Okay, so this is A, right? So if I say this is this, and then this would be what? This would be this would be this. Now in this particular position, we have no idea who's present, correct? The question is a bit ambiguous. Therefore, we could say anything other than A, B and C. Alright? Okay. Now quickly get into the next question. 7 people sit around in a circle facing out. So now all of them are facing outwards, which means left is anti-clockwise, right is clockwise, right? So let's make 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now here opposite facing would be little difficult for us to say, because when there are odd numbers, no person is actually seating in front of you, right? It's a little bit away from your front. So now quickly say, B is to the right of A, C is opposite of B. Now opposite of B, let's take these positions, right? So B and C are at these positions. B is to the right of A, right meaning take leftwise, right? So A, let's say, is here. Who is second to the left of C? Again, if we have to see, C is already here, D, E, F and then G if I have to put, then I can say to the left of C there is nothing but, to the left of C we will have to see anti-clockwise, so it's nothing but our F. Alright. Now quickly get into double row arrangements. So what are these double row arrangements? 2 rows, one faces north, other faces south, right? If there are 2 rows like this, if there are 2 rows like this, up one faces north, the downwards faces south. Opposite facing logic is there. Then tips: identify 2 rows, use elimination, mirror positions help, right? Let's quickly get into what is happening here. Okay, A, B, C face north, D, E, F face south. So A, B, C are facing north, D, E, F are facing south, right? C is opposite of F, which we have already done, right? A is to the left of B. Yeah, A's left is B, that's what we're seeing. Who faces A? Very simple, this D. Correct? So as simple as that. This question was very easy. Let's go to the next question. Okay. 6 people sit in 2 rows. M and O faces north. So M, N and O are facing north. X, Y and Z are facing south. North and south. N is opposite of Y. Very simple. Right? Who is between M and O? Very simple. M and O between is nothing but your N. Correct? Alright. Next question. A, B, C, D face north. So we have A, B, C and D facing north. I'll just write it as this, right? P, Q, R, S. P, Q, R and S are facing south. A faces P, which is given. B is to the right of A, which is also there. Who faces Q? Don't you think it is nothing but B? Right? As simple as that. Let's quickly get into the next part. Yes. So we have already arrived at the end of this particular seating arrangements chapter. I hope you've understood what is exactly happening. So let's quickly summarize this chapter. Always draw diagrams, right? Fix orientation, left, right, facing in and out, right? That is for the center part. Otherwise, it's mainly the same. Use elimination and approximation wherever necessary. Practice will enhance your speed and accuracy. This is always there. For double row, think in mirror image position. That's what. North and south is also good, right? Common formulas and tricks. For circular, third to the right, current plus 3 clockwise. For linear, X is second to the right, means place this particular Y first. Alright? Okay, so we have already arrived at the end. I hope you have enjoyed this particular module. If you haven't, please drop your comments in the comment box, and if you have any doubts, anything to let me know, please do that. Feel free to do that. But before all of this, make sure you practice quite a bit. Thank you so much.